miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good evening, everybody. It's Mark Klein. Welcome to another Long Island Blues Warehouse. Appreciate you coming out, hanging out, checking us out, doing our thing at liblues.com. This week's featured artist, we're talking to a guy tonight that has either played or recorded with Gary U.S. Bonds, the Asbury Jukes, Tony Orlando, Tommy James, Chuck Berry, just to name a few. This week's featured artist on the stage with us right now, Killer Joe and the LIDO Soul Revue.
Troubles right down the hall. Call me 24/7, 24/7. I got 24/7, 24/7. I said 24/7, 24/7 every day. Yeah. Well, he says he cares, but he's always working overtime. But he's hanging out with Dino, chasing everything he finds. Oh, just give me the car. A ball, send those troubles right down. 24/7 every day.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Killer Joe, and the LIDO Soul Revue. Love the name, I got to start by saying. Good to see you again, Joe.
Mark, it's great to be back.
Killer
here.
Joe. We've had you in here a few times over the years.
Yes, sir.
And it's good to see you again, my man. We have a whole new audience out there, as you can tell.
I can tell. This is great.
Long Island knows the Killer Joe journey, but we're going to touch on a few highlights this evening and go over a few things you've done in the past, a few interesting friends you've made over the years doing what you do. First thing I want to discuss real quick is the unique, in-your-face kind of style that you've developed over the years with this amazing ensemble of musicians.
Thank you,
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this great thing that you put together, this type of dynamic.
Well, as far as unique, it's been being done a long time. I mean, I just carried the ball, basically, watching all the greats. And we just put our own spin on it. And, you know, we like delivering the rock and roll and the soul and the blues, of course, and we have a ball.
One thing I find interesting about you is to watch you play for the first time, you think you've been doing this forever. You're relatively new to this type of thing. And when I say new, you've only been performing live, if I understand correct, about, what, 10, 11 years now?
About almost 10 years.
That's it?
Yeah, it's live fronting the band, yes.
Why the late start with doing what seems to be an incredible passion for you?
Well, that's exactly what it was. It was an incredible passion of music collection of all the greats, all the ones that I loved. And I decided just to want to go out and do some live stuff and whatnot. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. And then, like you said, meeting some of the greats and watching them. And I picked up on some of their things. And one thing led to another. And here we are.
And here you are. And some of those greats that we talked about earlier, we're going to touch on a little bit. We got a lot to do in a short period of time, Killer Joe.
Yes, sir.
I say we put you people back to work.
Absolutely.
We'll
That's
come
what we're
back
here
and
for.
chat some more. What are we doing next?
Well, as one of the greats, we got a chance to meet, and I got a chance to jam with this guy. And his MD, his musical director, is one of my best friends. I'm talking about the great Sam Moore. He's one of the last ones standing. Let's do a little Soul Man.
You good to go?
Soul Man. Let's do it. Come
Once
on.
again on the Blues Warehouse, Killer Joe.
Come on, man. Well, this one's going out to Sam. He's going to be watching this, man. Here we go, ready? I'm coming to you on a dusty road. That good loving, you know I got a truckload. And when you get it, you got something. So don't worry, 'cause I'm coming. Everybody, I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Yeah, I got what I got the hard way, and I'm making it better each and every day. I said, soul baby, now don't you fret, 'cause you ain't seen nothing. Little soul, I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Well, I was brought up down by Jones Beach, and I learned how to love before I could eat. I was educated, that good stuff. When I start loving, you'll be Louis, never gonna stop it. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Let's go to the bridge. Well, I'm gonna grab the rope. I'm gonna pull you in. I got to give you home and be your only boyfriend. Yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go, boys. We've been doing this all over the world, man. Let's send it out to Sam. Here we go. I'm a soul man. 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 Now, Mike, go down to the boardwalk, Mike. been doing this all over the world. Everybody knows it, man. We've been doing it down at Coney Island. We've been doing it in City Island. We've been doing all the beaches in Long Island, man. Jones Beach, Lido, Long Beach. We're gonna do it right here. I'm gonna go. Then Dano, you're gonna go. Then Louie, you're gonna go. And then Mikey, you're gonna go. I got the first one. Louie, come on, Louie, Louie. Oh, yeah, go, baby, go. One more time.
Hi, this is Mudslide Slim from North Babylon, New York, and you're listening to the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
Oh, yeah. Come on, baby.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, Killer Joe, and the LIDO Soul Review. Hey, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Got about 30 degrees hotter in here, man.
I think so.
Look at the sweat pouring off your
I
brow,
know, man. That's because I'm next to Lou.
Lord have
It
mercy.
happens.
Listen, am I blending in right now, by the way?
I believe so.
The glasses are working?
Perfect.
I feel like I could be a member of the band
You
now.
are actually a member of the band. We've always said that about Mark.
Joe, I want to talk about some interesting relationships and friendships you've built over the years. Let's start with a Long Island fella named Gary U.S. Bonds.
Okay, if we have to. Okay, yeah, of course. Gary's what we call one of our surrogate godfathers. We love Gary. He's really good to us, comes out to play with us and stuff, and it's always great when he comes around.
You've worked with the Asbury Jukes from time to time. How'd you hook up with those boys?
Through Gary.
Through Gary as well.
Watching them all these years perform, being a big Southside fan, and then becoming very close with Gary. I met all those guys who back him up, guys like Joey Stan, who played with us, and Mark Pender, who's also with Max Weinberg.
Okay, sure.
The trumpet player. La Bamba, of course, and we all became like, one crazy surrogate family.
Let's talk about one of my dad's favorites and one of mine as well. He goes by the name Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony.
Tony Orlando.
Yeah. Well, I'm allowed to say this, right? Okay. As Batman,
You're allowed to say
Pat
what?
Ruhlman is actually indirectly related to him.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Indirectly?
Indirectly through cousins.
Okay.
Cousin's cousin. And he showed up at one of our shows a couple years ago in the city. And that was the end of it. And he loved the band and jammed with us.
He jammed with you?
Yeah. We did like some old blues standards and some R&B stuff. And
I'd love to hear the Killer Joe version of Tie Yellow Ribbon.
Actually, Lou does a great vert. Oh, no, I was just kidding. And but he loves the band. We talk to him all the time, and every time we've gone out to see him, I go up and play harmonica with him and his guys. And he had us out on the telethon this year.
Wait. He had you on what telethon?
On the MDA telethon, excuse
The
me.
muscular dystrophy
Yes.
with Jerry Lewis.
Right.
You
And
guys were a
there's-
part of that this past year.
I got a chance to play harmonica behind him.
The jam at the end of the
Yeah.
show
Yeah,
that they
we-
do every year?
Yes.
You got to jam at the end.
He actually, funny story is the night before he asked me, he comes up to me, he goes, Killer Joe, tomorrow night.
Did he stand like that?
Yeah, just like this. He comes out. That's what he does. He goes right in front of the whole world. He goes, "Bring your harmonica tomorrow night. We'll jam the place. We'll rock the place tomorrow night." And I actually had to work, so he got my boss on the phone, and he asked my boss to give me the night off. And that's actually how it really happened.
He asked your boss to give you the night off.
He said, "This is Tony Orlando, and I need him tomorrow night."
Did your boss believe it was him?
Yes. And I wound up jamming on the end with Tommy James, Gene Cornish from the Rascals, Ronnie Spector. Who else? I'm trying to think. Who else is back there? Oh, it was just a variety of greats. It was very surreal for me.
I can only imagine.
It was
my
insane.
man. I can only imagine. On your website, you've got some cool pictures of you with some of these cats.
Mm-hmm.
Another fella that I know you've gotten on stage with once or twice, Mr. Tommy James.
Tommy James, yeah. Actually, I was with him last Monday. And he's a great guy, loves the band. He's also, he's become Uncle Tommy to us. And loves the style. And, of course, we just basically carry the ball with, him and all those guys put down before us.
Very cool, my man. Let's talk about Chuck Berry briefly.
Wow. Chuck Berry.
No, I'm saying wow. What are you saying wow for?
Because that was just a very, very strange night when that happened. I was at BB King's. And,
New York City there,
New
sure.
York City, and I had this harmonica belt right back here, and it was on the table, and he looked at me, he's jamming out at the end of the night, and he's bringing everybody up, and he comes over to me with his guitar, and he points to me like this, and he goes, "Come up here," like that. And I froze, and I didn't know if I understood him right. He goes, "No," and he takes his guitar, and he says, "Again," he saw the harmonicas. Went up with him, and I wound up singing a verse of his last song, and was reeling and rocking.
Very
And I
cool.
played harp on it, and I actually almost fainted while I was up there with him. I was like this, and then I asked the bass player what key he was in, and I was like, I felt myself going.
Getting lightheaded?
Yeah, very lightheaded, because I was with Chuck Berry. And I'm like, "Oh, boy." And he goes, "Go, you got it, you got it." So I sang the verse, and I'm looking out there like this, and I had my eyes closed. And then I looked back this way, and he's right on my back like this with his guitar. And I walked around Times Square that night for about an hour and a half in a complete daze.
Pinching yourself?
Could not believe what had happened, because it's very rare he does that. He's already punched major stars in the face for doing that. you know, but he brought me up, and it was insane. It was something I'll never ever will forget.
You got any audio capture to that?
Actually, I don't have a photograph, but there is video of it because BB King's has it. But I was all by myself, except for these guys who were at my table, and it just happened so fast. But it was really great. So, but that was pretty wild. That was insane that night.
I can only imagine, my man. I can only imagine. And that's a lot of cool things in a short period of time. Your history with live music.
Well, you know, it's from playing harmonica. We always talk about it. I mean, the guys, it's easy. It's like if someone knows you play harmonica and whatever, you come up and you're in. You don't have to plug anything in like these guys got to do, or forget your pedals or anything like that.
It's easy on the back too.
Exactly.
It's
it's simple. You have to forget wires, or I got to plug in, and that's what I'm saying. It's easy. Oh, I play harmonica, and bam.
You got to make sure you got the right key of harmonica.
Well, that's why I have a rig that has every key, so no matter what.
You're covered.
Yeah, whatever the song's in, I'm good.
You're covered. Very cool, my man. I say we put you boys back to work, Killer Joe.
Yes, all right.
Let's take advantage of the time and keep it moving.
All right, Pat, you down? Pat the Batman Ruhlman. Here we go. It's one off the CD, To the Break of Dawn.
Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we must keep it moving with Killer Joe.
Gonna rock it, gonna roll it till the break of dawn. I wanna feel it, gonna steal it, gonna love it till I can't go on. When I feel you in my arms, I feel so strong. I wanna roll it, gonna show it, gonna dig it with you all night long. I wanna love you, none above you, gonna do it till we can't go on. I love you, wanna show you that I really care. I wanna take you on a journey to the places that you wouldn't dare. 'Cause when I feel you in my arms, I know I'm there. Come on, Dan.
Nicely done, my man.
Thank you, Mark.
A strong, striking resemblance to a young Paul McCartney, I think. I want to begin by saying. Can we get a close up on that smile? One more time with that. I'm thinking there might be a story behind that. Just a guess.
I can't.
Well, I wanted to do a certain song, and Joe said, no way.
You caught him on an off day.
I did it anyway, and boom, no. Hockey stick. High
It
stick.
was a hockey stick?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about some history with you. I know you've been playing with Joe for a good period of time. How long have you been working with Killer Joe?
About 4 years now.
It's been 4 years.
Yeah, great. Yes.
Let's jump into the history. We've talked about it before. A whole new audience out there. Let's talk about when you began doing your thing with the bass. You start young?
Right after high school. Picked it
Okay.
up, yeah. Yeah, a little bit in high school, and then really got into it afterwards.
What was the influence for you?
Oh, I love all kinds of music. And I worked with a lot of musicians, and they had a lot of bands, and somebody needed a bass player.
So I always messed around on the guitar and got into the bass and singing, and I haven't stopped since.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How'd you get involved in working with Killer Joe some 4 years back?
Oh, my friend Danny Dahl over here.
It's his fault?
Yeah, it's all his fault. He knew one of Joe's old sax players. Yeah, Joe Halama, and Danny got in, and then I followed him.
All right.
Yeah, followed
Very
him right.
cool.
He left the door open. I followed him right in.
You slipped right in there.
Yep.
Okay, Joe, what were you going to say?
Nothing. No, it's more like a stalking thing. If you really want the story.
I'm here again, Joe.
Hey, listen, whatever it took,
At
my
every
man.
gig.
Everything happens for a reason.
I said it last time. I remember when we were on with you. When I heard there was a guy named Batman who played bass, I go, I gotta get that guy. I go, a name like Batman. I don't even care if he's not any good.
Share with us how the nickname came about again, one of you guys. Go ahead, Batman, you tell the story. How'd you get the nickname
It
Batman?
was an elevator accident on a job in Manhattan on a construction
Wearing the
site.
Batman costume?
Yep. I came to work in the Cape, and they said, that's it. You're done.
And it stuck.
No, I actually hung upside down in an elevator shaft.
And what was the purpose for that
30
now?
stories. I was trying something. No.
How'd it go?
I was trying.
How'd it
Good.
work?
I got a nickname out of it. You should hear some of the other nicknames I worked with. No, so there was an accident, and I got hung upside down. And later on, somebody said, "What do you think, you're Batman?" And stuck. That was it.
And the rest is history.
Yep.
The rest is history. Very cool. Very cool. Let's grab Danny Dahl, if we can, on one of the lead guitars for a minute. How you doing, Danny Dahl?
I'm doing great, Mark.
Supporting that hat real well, I want to begin by saying.
Thank you.
I need, matching hat. Everybody should have the Danny Dahl hat on, I think. You guys look great.
No, just me.
Just you?
Yeah.
It's the
that's my
signature thing.
Yeah, it's my thing.
All right.
He gets upset.
Danny, let's talk about the history. Let's talk about when you began with the guitar. How old were you? What got you involved?
Probably 11 or 12 or something like that. My brother started before I did, and I kind of followed him into it, and he showed me a few chords, and I got his hand-me-down guitar, and that's where I started, and that was around the time of the British invasion many, many years ago.
All right. Clapton.
When all these songs that we're doing were top 40 songs.
All right. Once upon a time?
Yeah.
Once upon a time?
Yes.
You self-taught? You take lessons?
A little bit of both. Mostly self-taught.
You remember your first project, your first band you ever got involved in?
We had a band called the Elements of Sound. It was a horn band. We played like Blood, Sweat, and Tears in Chicago and stuff like that. I was still in high school.
Your first band,
We
huh?
used to play the Sock Hops.
Very cool. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Sock Hops.
How long have you been working with the infamous Killer Joe?
About 4 years, a little over 4 years,
As
just
well.
before Pat started.
All right.
Yeah.
How'd you stumble into...
Yeah, I
the
stumbled. Yeah, I stumbled up.
how'd you guys cross paths? How'd you...
The same stalking situation.
All right.
There was a horn player, Joe Halama, that I used to work with on the road. We went to Europe. We did a lot of things together, and he was working with Joe for a while. And I went to sit in with the band at Jones Beach, and Joe, was looking for somebody too, and he's asked me to join the band.
Very cool. Very cool. The rest is history, as
The
they
rest
say.
is history.
So you've been doing. You had a 4-year run so far with Killer Joe.
Yeah,
in this
it's
project.
been good.
Well, I'll tell you what. We've had Joe in here a few times over the years, and I know your schedule. One thing led to another. For one reason or another, we couldn't get you in here last time we did the Killer Joe thing.
that's right.
But we're glad we have you in here tonight.
Thank you.
You make a great addition to this project,
I'm glad to be here.
and keep going strong, my man.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Danny Dahl on the one lead guitar. We thank you, sir. Killer Joe.
Sir,
Look at that clock. We got time for. We probably got time for a couple of more.
2 more?
Maybe 3.
Okay.
Depending on how long we drag the chat. Let's try and chat less and squeeze a
okay.
few more tunes in.
Let's do another
We
one.
are going to do a second hour of audio for those of you checking us out on the stream. But for the video purposes, I say we try and squeeze in at least a couple of more.
Okay.
What are we doing next?
Well, we talked about Gary Bonds. Me and him do this one all the time. We'll goof around his house and stuff. A little old Wilson Pickett tune called She's Looking Good.
Blues Warehouse.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Come on! Oh yeah! You got the kind of loving make a man lose his mind. I got to know something. I'll make me know that you're mine. Ha! She's looking good. She's looking so good. Wow, she's looking good. It's like I knew that those wigs now, baby. You know your little sister's tight. You know your little foxy fine, baby. Well, you step that lady now. Wow, she's looking good. You're looking so good. She's looking good. Just like I told me that you would. Come on, man. Come on, Louis. Sounding good. Listen, Pickett does it like this. Now, mama got your mojo. I said your daddy got a gun. I'm gonna steal your daughter. Yes, I got to be your son. Wow, you're looking good. Yeah, you're looking so good. Baby, looking good. Just like I knew that you would. Ah! Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Well, it's alright. It's alright. Wow, she's looking good. She's looking good. Yeah, so good. So good. It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. Alright. Yeah, she's looking good. So good. It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Yeah, looking good. She's looking good. So good. So good. Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. Baby, it's alright. Yeah, it's alright.
I got a backache after that. I'll tell you
Oh
what.
boy.
This week's featured artist, Killer Joe, and the Lido Soul Review. Very nice, Joe.
Thank you, Mark.
I'll tell you what the problem is, man.
What's that?
I've said this to you before, and I need to say it again. You got no freaking energy.
Well,
What's
we get that often. By now, usually there's some kind of law enforcement knocking on the door, trying to escort out of here, whether it be in New York City or Jersey, of course, Long Island. We always get that, but that's okay. We're friends with those guys.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. And hand out a few passes to them.
For a couple, free shows and this and that, and
That's
everybody's
all.
happy.
And that's a rehearsal at your house.
Pretty much.
When you're by yourself without the band.
Exactly. And the cops come, and it's the same thing.
I got you. Kick ass as always, my man.
Thank
I
you.
want to talk to Lou COROLLO, if I can, for a minute. On the other guitar. How you doing, Lou?
Good. How you doing, Mark?
It's good to see you again. No stranger to this show either.
Yes, sir.
You're becoming a veteran with some serious frequent flyer miles on the show here.
I'm a
And it's
regular,
always good
yeah.
to see you. One of my favorite guitar players on Long Island. Just want to go ahead and say that for the record. Every time I see you, man, I'm always in love with what you do. Let's touch on some history with you. You started guitar much younger than most of these guys started playing. Most of these guys started playing at age 11 in their teens, out of high school. You picked up the guitar a bit sooner in life, didn't you?
Yeah, for me, it was a lifelong thing. I had an uncle and cousins that played, and the old Italian dinners, they'd sit around playing guitar, and that's, I've been playing since
Yay high.
yay high.
Yay high. And are you self-taught yourself? You take lessons when you were young?
Mostly self-taught. I learned from friends and just from jamming with people.
Let's talk about some other projects. You're currently involved in another project on Long Island. Of course, Breakaway,
Right,
with
Breakaway.
Howie,
Right.
Howie Haber. Love what you guys do with that project. Let's talk about what you were doing, say, junior high, high school days musically. School projects, garage bands. What were you doing back in
Yeah,
those
garage
days?
bands doing Zeppelin, Tull, Jeff Beck, that kind of stuff.
Very
It was like
cool.
the mid-'70s.
You don't play much of that stuff now with the other project, do you?
Once in a while, we'll throw a Zeppelin song in, if we feel like it, but, something on the bluesy end.
I know you guys will squeeze a Beatles tune in once in a while
Beatles,
for
yeah,
good measure.
yeah, oh, yeah.
But you'll pull out some of that old classic stuff,
Sure.
too, the old British Invasion stuff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. I always appreciate what you do. You do the full-blown electric thing with your current project. You also do an acoustic thing.
Right, we do a stripped-down version of the band. Sometimes me and Howie, sometimes me, Howie, and Joey. And but usually it's the full band.
You still got Evan working with you boys? Your harp
Evan,
player?
he sits in with us once in a while.
Great addition to what you guys do as
Evan's
well.
great.
Another great harp player. The talent on Long Island, amazing, as you guys know.
It is, yeah.
And you make a tremendous addition to any project you touch, Lou.
Thanks, man.
So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Lou Corollo on the other guitar. We thank you, sir. I want to grab real quick John DeGiullo on the drum kit. If he'll pull that mic, the mic behind you there, my man. You're waving, but we need you to turn that mic around so we can hear you. How you doing, John?
Check. Hi, how are you?
Good to see you, man. It is a little bright in here. I understand why everybody
know.
needs to sit. What? Hold on.
Still early in the morning.
There we go. Now I can't see you. It's still early in the morning. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Let's
little
talk
early.
about some history with you, if we can. Let's talk about when you got behind the kit for the first time. Were you a young guy yourself, or did you start
Yeah.
like 10 minutes ago?
No, I've been playing since I was, well,
You started at a
about a
young
foot
age.
and a half shorter than I am now. At the wee age of about 8.
You were about 8 when you started. What was the influence for you?
I don't know. You know, they tried to influence me to play piano, guitar.
Who's
I'm
the
like,
they you're talking about? Family?
Yeah, family, yeah. You know, and I was like, nah, I'm interested in drums.
You rebelled against those other instruments.
Oh, yeah. You know, when I would take all my mother's pots out and stuff and be wailing on them with the spoons, and she didn't like that, said, I guess he wants to play drums, and I did, and the neighbors didn't quite so like it, but once I moved out, when I moved down to the big city of New York, they were very happy.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Let's fast forward if we can for a minute and talk about some highlights for you. A nice highlight for you, I have to say, is working, of course, with Mr. Gary U.S. Bonds yourself.
Yes.
You still working with Gary today?
A little bit. He hasn't been playing as much, but he's got a new album out, and I'm on one cut on that. I believe it's either cut track 4 or 5. If I Live Through This, real nice track. We cut it at his house, and it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I'm on it.
You've dabbled, I understand, with a fella known as Wilson Pickett.
Yes, I did. Played out in Long Island, Riverhead, at one of the wineries, and did a wine tasting festival, and it was just amazing. And I was honored, and we had a lot of fun. He liked it, and he commanded a rock solid guy that could keep up with him.
Very cool, my man.
Yeah,
Do I have this
yeah.
next one right? Kenny Loggins?
Yep,
You worked with Kenny.
yep, for a year and a half.
How long ago?
97, 98. You know, we all got let go in 99.
When did that movie Top Gun come out?
80 something.
Okay, so you were years later.
Yeah, it was many years later.
The Big Danger Zone song, you weren't on that one.
No.
All
no,
right.
no.
All right. Had to ask.
No. Yeah.
I get a kick out of this next one. You changed direction somewhere in your career and did a little disco thing with a woman known as Gloria
yes.
Gaynor.
Oh yes, I Will Survive.
The big tune, I Will Survive.
Yeah.
How long ago are we talking for that?
Well, that's just been more recently within the last year. But, you know, she does quite a bit of frequent travel, like South America, South Africa, Europe. You know, she goes to a lot of where it's much, much more, you know, that song is still a huge hit. They enjoy it. So it's pretty amazing to go there and have 20, 30,000 people show up for that, pretty much that one song. And she had a couple of B-sides, you know, Never Can Say Goodbye.
Sure.
She did some remakes of Going Out of My Head, which was Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Absolutely, sure.
And
sure. You're a guy that can definitely exchange eights with the best of them, my man.
Wow.
I appreciate you seeing you do your thing behind that kit. And
Thank you.
Look for how long you been working with Killer Joe?
I mean, it's our second year now. Yep. It's definitely our set, and it's been a blast. He is Killer Joe.
So far, so good, I see. You're going to
Yes.
be with Joe for a good number of years, I'm hoping.
I am
Whether he
hoping
likes it or
myself.
not.
Whether he likes it or not.
Yes.
Tell Gloria Gaynor you got a day gig, man.
Aha.
Tell Gloria.
She'll see it on Skype.
We already told Gary Bonds the same story.
Good. Good. Make sure these guys understand that you got a home right here with Killer Joe.
Absolutely.
And I think it's where you belong, my man. You make a great fit. A tremendous dynamic to this project.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Beautiful.
John DeGiullo on the drum kit. We thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Killer Joe.
Sir.
I think we're going to squeeze in 2 more for the video.
Okay.
For those of you listening online through the stream, we have a whole second hour of Joe coming up in about 15 minutes or so. But we're going to squeeze in a couple more. Let's do another one. We'll do our goodbyes for hour 1, and then we'll have you boys play us out. And that's the way we're going to do that.
Okay.
What are we doing next?
I think we do this down at the beaches, down at Coney Island and everything, and it's one of our favorite things to do. We get a lot of people up. Let's do the Motown thing, man.
You good to go?
Yeah, let's go. We're
Before
ready.
you do it, Mr. DeGiullo.
I'm not moving.
I appreciate that. I'm going to look over here and do one of these. Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with Killer Joe and the Lido Soul Revue. Let's do it.
Oh, yeah! All right, everybody, come on! Everybody get out of those seats, man! Wow! I said I never met a girl could make me feel the way that you do. You're alright. Hope I get to you before they do, 'cause that's when I tell you you're out of sight. Now twiddle-a-dee, twiddle-a-dong. Watch out, baby, now here I come. Everybody say, oh, oh, oh. Everybody, get ready, get ready. Oh, oh, oh. Come on, baby, get ready. Here I come, get ready, 'cause here I come. My way, get ready, 'cause here I come. I said you wanna play hide and seek without the way that you do. You're alright. Hope I get to you before they do, 'cause that's when I tell you you're out of sight. And the 3, 5, 4, 4. Watch out, baby, now here I come. You guys say it, say it. Get ready, get ready. Johnny the Booth. Get ready, get ready. Everybody, get ready, 'cause here I come. On my way. Get ready, 'cause here I come. Oh, man. Let's go down to Charles House, man. Let's go, Maggie. Hey, Batman. Wow. Every night and day, I never got me once, just a minute. But I heard about the things just a might have been. Big wheel keep on turning, round there and keep on turning. Everybody say it, rolling, 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 rolling on the rim. I'm rolling, 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 rolling on the rim. Do I do, 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 do. I pumped a lot of gas in Memphis. We played the rock and roll down in New Orleans and Memphis. Never got me once, just a minute. But I heard about the things just a minute. Big wheel keep on turning, round baby keep on burning. And I'm rolling, 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 rolling on the river. Come on, John. We rolling, 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 rolling on the rim. Do I do, 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 do. Wow. Write it down, chunk boy. That's what you do, Batman. All right, Blues Warehouse. Now we've been doing this all over the world, man. Down at Coney Island, down at Jones Beach in front of thousands, man. Everybody's sitting down. You got to get out of those seats. Get your coffee table out of the way. You're watching us on TV. That's right. Wake the kids up. We're going down to the boardwalk. We're going to do it like this. Remember Martha Reeves, Dano? And she said, every guy, grab a girl. Are you ready for the brand new beat? Everybody say it. Summer's here and the time is right for dancing in the street. I'm dancing, dancing Chicago. Dancing in the
looking good, man.
That's a good job out in the city, working for the man every night and day. Never got me once, just a minute sleep. But I heard about the things, just a lot of things. Big wheel keep on turning, round there and keep on turning. Everybody rolling, 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 rolling on the rim. I'm rolling, 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 rolling on the rim. And I do, Get ready, Johnny! Oh! Wow, yeah! Oh, come on, Peter! I never met a girl could make me feel the way that you do. You're alright. Hope I get to you, babe. Wow, they do. 'Cause that's what I tell you. You're out of sight. The big five, so full. Watch out, baby. Now here I come, baby. Oh, come on, get ready. Get ready. I say get ready. Get ready. Here, everybody say, get ready. Yeah, say it. Get ready. Wow, yeah. Get ready. Come. Get ready. Come. Ready? Here we go. Ha! Wow,
Killer Joe and the Lido Soul Review. Joe.
Yes, sir.
Good job, my man.
Thanks, Mark.
Please share with everybody the website so people can follow Killer Joe.
Okay, let's get myself together here. www.killerjoe66.com.
Now that people have grabbed a pen to write that down,
Okay,
one more
ready?
time so they can understand you.
www.killerjoe, no dot, shut up you. www.killerjoe66.com. It'll get you in touch with us. All the contact information's there.
You put the number 66 in?
Yeah, the number 66 has a calendar. I know I'm about to hit one of these guys in about 2 seconds because they're making me laugh. and that'll get you in touch with us. And we're scheduled all over. We'll be all summer long playing at one park or another, and the beaches and whatnot. I believe we're going to be with Gary Bonds again this summer.
A lot of cool stuff you do
Yeah.
every summer, and it's coming up fast. So
It is,
you
it
want
is.
to check that out. We appreciate it, Killer Joe. I want to thank Joe Genosa over here on the keys. We got to thank Lou Corollo on this guitar right over here. We got to thank John DeGiullo on the drum kit back there. Thank you, John. Mike Parinello on the sax. Pat the Batman RUHLMAN over there on the bass. We got to thank Danny Dahl on the other guitar over there to the right.
Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, Mr. Killer Joe Ferraro, front vocals and harp. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Killer Joe.
Sir.
It's always a pleasure to see you, my man.
You too, Mark.
I thank
It's
you
great
so
to
much
see
for
you.
what
Thank
you
you.
do.
Thanks for
A
having me.
massive contribution to the Long Island scene with music.
It's great.
And I look forward to seeing a lot more of you with future things to come.
I'll hope
And
to see
keep
you.
going strong, my man.
Thank you. Hope to see you over the summer. Come out and see us for sure. Get up
Absolutely.
and knock out a couple with the boys. We'll have a good time.
I'm looking forward to it. You boys are going to play us out,
Okay.
and then we're going to stick around and do a whole second hour of audio. Before we do, I want to encourage everybody to check out EKO Studios at ekoproductions.com. Remember, they are the official studio of the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
Amen.
For the Long Island Blues Warehouse, I'm Mark Klein at liblues.com. And thanks for checking us out every week. Here's where you're going to find us doing what we're doing tonight, bringing you a different band, mostly from Long Island, showcasing some massive, amazing talent. So thank you for checking us out. Killer Joe,
Okay.
what are we doing last?
I say we go out like we always do. Let's go with a land of 1,000 dances. You ready, boys?
Long
You
Island
ready?
Blues Warehouse, Killer Joe.
Give me the chorus. Rumble, rumble, come on.
Mr. Mark Klein having us out here. And we're doing this all over the world. We're going to do it right here. We got to send this one out to the great Benny King and Gary Bonds who are over in England right now. Uncle Tony Orlando, Uncle Tommy James.